Welcome, friends. I hope I am audible. This is an effort from us to discuss about some messages, some holy sayings given by our master, Sri Suthakur Anukul Chandra, online with everyone. Every time a great personality came to this planet, or every time a great personality was born on this planet, just like any other person, we have seen that centering him, around him, developed a new kind of literature that would later become the asset for the whole human civilization. Of many evolution, of the past of human civilization, we have seen that one of the earliest evolution was cognitive evolution. It is said, scientists and anthropologists say, that in the cognitive evolution, human learned how to interact, how to store their memory, so that the later people who come afterwards can use them and develop their skills and graduate the knowledge from one kind of application to more complex and useful application. In this way, with advancement of technology and wisdom, we have created such wonderful civilization, such wonderful cultures all around the world. The Purushottam, or the fulfilling, great fulfilling personalities, are such beings who are just like any other human beings. But the level of knowledge, the intuition, the concentration, and love and compassion for everyone is beyond any measurable yardstick from human perspective. And same goes for all the prophets. It is as if the nature, out of some natural want, it is said that necessity is the mother of invention. And then the same goes for nature, as if the whole world wanted for such a man, such a leader to arrive, to lead the humanity towards that direction. So, in this today's session, we would like to discuss two such verses from the English dictas given by our master Sisithakur Anukul Chandra. And the name of the book is Message Volume 2, Chapter 3, The Pursuit of Dharma and Ideal. If there is any disturbance with the sound, please do comment and let me know, because I am alone managing this by the grace of my master. Thank you. So the first verse is Prophet and Disciple. He who explains law of life with its inner intent, by which people can conceive and act accordingly to have a propitious prolonged go of life, is a prophet. And a disciple is he who is disciplined with active untottering adherence according to his holy sayings. Master says, prophet is that personality who explains the law of life with its inner intent. The most important part of this saying, I think, is this inner intent. Everything in this universe is provided by something. It is a graduated evolution of something else before it. There had been atoms, they had been graduated to molecules, from there came elements, from there came compounds, life, and so on. The inherent urge to exist and become something more than what they are in the present situation. The existence has flourished, the life happened. So every creation has an inner intent behind it. We can either see it or we can miss it, but every action has a cause. Every result has a cause behind it. But it takes a great deal of concentration and wisdom, a great deal of perception to see what is the inner intent. A personality who is whose consciousness is so fine and well tuned with the existence, who can understand and grasp this inner intent in everything in this creation. We can see how mothers are able to look, and many times they can understand the inner intent of their children. It is out of the irresistible love that they feel for them. A similar kind of, and beyond that, a love beyond that is felt by the prophet for everything around him. Such a personality feels that everything is a part and parcel of his own self. Through that irresistible loving urge for everyone's existence, feeling them as his own, he can see and realize the inner intent of everything in this existence. That's why, for the sake of everyone and himself, he explains the law of life, the law of providence, with all their inner intent. And those wisdom that he gives, those tenets that he gives, that becomes the prophecies. The word prophet came from that. He gives prophecies. He proves, he says the law. He professes the law. Prophets profess the law by which people can conceive and act accordingly to have a propitious, prolonged go of life. Since these laws are explained by the prophet, by acting upon them, by applying them in people's lives, they can have a prolonged life, a better life, a happier life. And this way, the need of prophet is so important. Among many ideologies, among many ideal, everything gets a fulfilling center around him. And a disciple is he who is disciplined with active, untottering adherence according to his holy sayings. Nowadays, people are saying that the world is getting out of discipline. Students are not getting enough discipline. They are getting indisciplined. But if we look deeper into the word discipline, it came from the word disciple. And this disciple, this disciple, such a person is the disciple who is disciplined in the ways of that prophet. Because what is the prophet? The prophet is the embodiment of the laws which keep our lives better. And such a prophet, he professed the law, and those laws are disciplined and untotteringly followed by the disciple. That's why he is called a disciple. And such a disciple develops an untottering adherence towards his or her ideal. And that's why he can move according to his holy sayings. So let us wrap it up again. He who explains the law of life, explains law of life with its inner intent, by which people can conceive and act accordingly to have a propitious, prolonged go of life, is a prophet. And a disciple is he who is disciplined with active, untottering adherence according to his holy sayings. Now, the second verse. A sincere disciple. Do thou attempt to be a sincere disciple of thy Master, the Lord, and make thyself fit to follow his every commandment with an active, ever loving attitude. Perform everything accordingly with thoroughness. Thus be a disciple of the love, the Lord, with adherence, allegiance, and active service, with every valorous intuition, and make thyself fit to imbibe his all-round attributes by and by. Be blessed and make others blessed too. They will get an effulging radiance of his life resonance through thy character, companionship, hearty eloquence, and active service. The great philosopher and poet Goethe, Goethe, many people say him Goethe, He said that we are shaped and fashioned by the object we love. So, a sincere disciple, by loving his master or her master, he starts imbibing those qualities of the master. And along with that, by following those existential laws of life, he imbibes those disciplinary qualities inside him. And this way, he molds himself psychophysically so that he becomes fit to follow his every commandment. So the disciplined, so the disciple makes an effort with his ever loving attitude to fulfill his commandments, his Lord's interest, and tries his best to establish his Lord and his interest in the society. In this way, that goodwill expands, exfoliates, and touches every other in the environment, and everyone dances in the welfare. He says he's asking us to become the perfect disciple for the ideal. It is for our own interest, for our own good interest, with every thoroughness. We should not be the disciple with just words. He says action, thoughts, and words, they must go together. By that, we can develop a sensory and motor nervous coordination, and we can do whatever we can put our mind in it. And that's why he says, be a disciple of the love Lord. The Lord is not only Lord, he is the love Lord. In Bengali, it is called Priyo Porom, because he's not just the master of people, he's also the lover of people. And that love, that un, incomparable love, can nowhere be found. And that kind of love draws people towards him. He loves everyone like he loves his hand, like he loves his own heart, because he auto initiatively, automatically feels everyone as a part of his own self. That's why we can find such a love nowhere in the universe. Thus, be a disciple of the love, the Lord, with adherence, allegiance, and active service. We have to become the disciple who will have these three qualities. They are very important. The first one is adherence. Adherence is the attachment. Then allegiance. Allegiance means that surrendering attitude. Whatever he will say, I will do. That kind of surrendering attitude. And active service. I have to do in my physical action, in reality, that every good thought, every good word, every good idea must be put into action. These three things, adherence. Now people will say, but spirituality relieves us from attachments, isn't it? Why Thakur is saying to develop adherence towards the love Lord? Understand this carefully. If we want to free ourselves from the attachment of the ground, for a time being, we have to get attached to the airplane, isn't it? When we are attached to the airplane, we can detach from the land. So, adherence to the love Lord can adjust all other dangerous adherences that we are facing in the world, and everything find a meaningful solution in Him. After further developments, after further readings of other verses, we would we would understand this more clearly. Then comes allegiance. If we don't develop the allegiance towards our master, how will we work out? So allegiance is also important towards the master, and the active service. No matter how good the thoughts are, how good the ideas are, if they are not put into action, we won't be able to see their fruits. With every valorous intuition, and make thyself fit to imbibe his all round attributes by and by. Be blessed and make others blessed too. They will get an effulging radiance of his life resonance through thy character, companionship, hearty eloquence, and active service. When the principles of the principal, that is, principle of the master, are imbibed in you, when you get the qualities which represents the master, people will get the touch, the feeling of master through you. then you will become the embodiment, you will become the receptacle or the reflection of the sun. And like the moon, you will be able to enlighten the earth in the darkness of the night when sun is invisible. So this way we can be of eminent service to the society, of many services. This is the rishis, the ancient sages, the wise people. They said that of all the services in the world, giving dharma to others is the greatest service of all, because dharma, dharma in its true sense, not just the ambiguous religion that we understand. So this dharma, this whole life, all round life activity, by giving this quality to others, by giving this wisdom to others, by sharing with others, by serving others, through this whole agenda, we can create a better society, we can create a better home. Nevertheless, we can create a better insight, a better mind, and there we can be very happy and ever glowing, elated. And this way we can march towards the becoming, holding the hands of our ideal. And we can also become ideals of the next generation. So I hope some people have enjoyed this show or whatever this is, this class. And let me know in the comments if you feel worthy. Then thank you for watching this. And we will come again with some new verses of Master. Joy Guru. Vande Purushottamam.